предполагам, ще ви помогнат за това нещо.
Добре. Първия въпрос ми е дали всичките разбирате английски. Разбирате супер. Защото аз ще говоря на словашки, извинявам се на английски, защото съм от Словакия. Да. Значи, да. Малко за мене. I'm Tatjana and I'm from Slovakia. And I started working recently at Enhansive as a growth hacker. I tried to make it sound like a bit IT hacker, which is basically I work in marketing department. And I take care of the editorial, so I write a lot of articles for the blog and try to engage our customers with our brand and with our product. As you can see here, I studied at Southampton Solent University. I moved here to Bulgaria 4 months ago, and I lived 6 years in England before that, where I worked and studied. So I finished bachelor degree at Southampton Solent, where I studied PR and communication. And then I worked in these 3 companies, which probably are not very well known for you, but I got my experience in marketing, in PR and internal communications in there. The main thing about me is that I love change and I believe that everything happens for a reason. And in England I couldn't find the proper company where I liked the company culture. And I was wondering, why is that? Is there a problem in me? Is there a problem in my resume? And then I thought maybe it's the problem in the country. And my partner is from Bulgaria, so it was quite an easy choice. And we decided to come here and try. And when I said that to some of my English friends, they were like, "You want to go to Bulgaria? What are you going to do there? Like, do you realize what economy is in there? Like, it's horrible. Why would you do that?" And this actually motivated me, and I told them, you know what, I'll go there and I'll show you that I'll find the best job that I can, and I'll make that economy better, and I'll contribute as much as I can. And I even learned the language, which I'm very proud of. But I still prefer to speak in English because it's more comfortable. So that is it about me. Also that I just recently realized I'm a natural fighter because I started practicing Wing Chun here in Bulgaria. And the trainer said that I have it in me, so in some time I hope that I can fight someone in reality. Okay, so today I'll talk about how to craft the perfect resume. As I said, I work for Enhansive, which is an online resume building platform. All of you who are students at Software University have free access to all of our pro features, so if you haven't tried it yet, definitely go and have a look. But first of all, I'll talk about this. It's Europass. I don't know if any of you have tried Europass to create your resumes. Personally, when I went and tried to create my resume in there, I found it very difficult, first of all. Second of all, this resume, the information inside is it's not perfect for the employer to see. I'll come back to this a bit later. On statistics, and we've done our research at Enhansive, this kind of resume is downloaded 15,000 times per day. There is loads of people in whole Europe who are creating their resume in there, yet 95% of these resumes are being rejected, which means there is something wrong with this format and the information that's provided inside. So today you're going to hear myths, mistakes and rules of creating a resume. You're going to hear the complete resume dissection, which means I'll talk about each section that you can write in your resume, and also how to write a cover letter. So let's start with the myths. But first of all, the resume, what it means, is essentially a document that enables you to sell yourself to an employer in the best possible way. So you need to make sure you spend time on it and you write really good information inside. So the 10 myths, first of all, there are certain rules and formats that you must follow. This is not true. Nobody says, you know, you have to use Europass for your resume. Nobody says you have to write it in Word or in Photoshop. Whatever you think that represents you the best and shows the best in you, you decide what platform that should be or what format. The resume is all about you, and it is the only way to apply for a job. As well, it's not all about you, because you really need to have a look at the company that you want to work for, the requirements for the job that you're applying for, and your resume should be tailored according to that as well. And it's not the only way to apply for a job, because you have to write your cover letter, you have to draft some good email that you will get attention through that email from the employer. So it's not the only way. The resume is the first step, and you only need one resume. So the first step before you create a resume is go to the company website, have a look what they're like, why do you like them, why do you think you would be good to work in that company. That is the first step. And then you don't only need one resume, because every company is different and every job description that you're applying for is different, which means the resume should be different. Every company, different resume. I don't have anything to write on my resume. This happens mainly with the students, and I remember when I was a student I thought exactly the same. I thought, I've never had a proper job, never had a contract, you know, where they paid me money, so I don't have enough of experience, I don't have what to write in there. But your experience is also the projects that you worked on at your university, some volunteering jobs, maybe you're a part of some entrepreneur clubs. Here in Bulgaria, Start Smart is one of the very popular ones. So this is a very valid experience as well to provide. The resume should only contain personal information, paid experience, education, skills and language. This is the regular layout of a resume. People think no other information than that I should not provide. But you should really show who you truly are, your strengths, your passions, the books that you read, all these kind of things is very important for any employer to see. Crafting a resume is a fast and easy job. I thought that as well. Once I have my experience, I'll just stick everything on there. I write, okay, I've done this in my job, I've done that, and job done. Nice and easy. Not true. You know, it takes time, especially because you have to do that research. You have to check the company out, see the product, have a look what they're doing. Why would you be interested? Why would they want to hire you again? I will send my resume where everyone else is sending it. As I came as well to Bulgaria, first of all, I went to Jobs.bg, probably all of you know, and I found some marketing assistant jobs, and I just made my resume and I just was applying through their website. And it's a very wrong way to do that, because when you go to the company website, you can see and find the CEO of the company, and maybe you should send an email straight away to him, and he might be really surprised. Oh, someone is applying to me for that job, you know, maybe that's why you will get that attention, and they will definitely contact you after that. Not definitely, but they might. I will choose where to send my resume based on the salary and requirements. The salary, I don't believe, is the main thing that you should look for in a job, because some companies offer remote working. Maybe you prefer to work from home, you're more productive. Maybe they do some team building events, which is really amazing, and you want to be part of that. Maybe they offer more days of holidays, yet less salary. So look at some different aspects of that company, not just the money. And also the requirements. Many people feel like, oh, this company put on some really high requirements and I don't have enough of experience for that. But generally companies write in their job description or requirement higher expectation, because they exactly want to get rid of the people who are not motivated and don't believe in themselves, and they don't apply for it. So even if you feel like I don't have higher I don't have enough experience, still apply and try. My resume will be reviewed. Again, it's a very big myth, because there are companies who get thousands of resumes per day, and there is no way some HR will see them, go through every single one. They use automated system matching systems, which means they take some keywords from your resume and the keywords from the job offer, and they match them, and if you don't have these keywords, they just throw you out. So it doesn't get reviewed every time. It's all about the resume, and a good one is enough. As I said again, it's not all about the resume, it's also about who you truly are, about the company that you're applying for. And a good resume is not enough, because again, you have to craft a good cover letter as well, you have to prepare very well for the interview. So it's not just enough when you create a resume and you send it. The 10 mistakes that we see in Enhansive in the resumes that come through. The main one is typos, which means grammatical mistakes. please never write grammar mistakes in your resume, because once the employer gets their resume in their hand and they see that you wrote something, you know, with the grammar mistake, they'll just throw it right in the bin, because they'll see that you didn't spend time to review your resume and really check for such mistakes. You write lies, and I've done it before as well. And it's really embarrassing once you're at that interview and they ask you, oh, so you've written that you've done this and that, and you're like, yeah, well, you know, I can't really talk too much about it. It's really embarrassing. So never lie, be yourself, and if the company is right for you, they'll definitely be interested in you. Under or overestimating yourself. My problem is that I always underestimate myself, and I feel I'm the kind of person who thinks, oh, I'm not good enough for this, these are high requirements, I can't apply for such jobs, but it's all not true. You should have confidence in yourself, in your knowledge, but the problem is as well, especially amongst young people, that they overestimate themselves. They write 10 out of 10 in JavaScript or whatever. Even your teacher, who has 30 years of experience, is not 10 out of 10 sometimes. So don't overestimate yourself, just be really honest with yourself as well as the employer. Stating only responsibilities and no accomplishment. That's the main problem of Europass. You only state your responsibilities, what you've done in your job position. But you really have to think of what accomplishments you've done in that company. Did you raise followers by 20% in 1 month? Provide data, provide numbers and percentages. What involvement did you have in that company improvement? Then trying to put all of your life on it, which means that you're applying for a software developer job, and because you're a student, you don't have much experience, you write, I was working 2 months in Sunny Beach or in the bar. This is not really relevant unless you've done a website for the bar, or something like that. It's not really relevant. It's a good experience because you communicate a lot, you deal with a lot of people, but it's not really relevant for such a job. Formatting. Formatting should be PDF, because once you send the PDF, it doesn't matter what computer it is, what year that computer was made. It opens up and it stays the same layout. It doesn't change. So always use PDF. Experience is only a paid work experience. As I said earlier, it's volunteering as well. It's your projects that you've done at your university. It's you've been a part of a charity, or you've been traveling a lot. You moved to England without speaking English and you stayed there. You were alone. This all says a lot about you. Afraid to show your personality. It stays in the back of our mind still from a long time ago, that the resume is very professional, you only have to state your experience, education, that's it. But nowadays, every company is looking for someone interesting. They shape their company culture, and they want a person who will be similar to the people who work there already. So they're looking for some interest that you could have similar to the other colleagues, so you have something in common, you have something to talk about, and once you go to a team building event, you have a lot in common and you're good friends straight away. And then not trying to see what the HR will understand from your resume. So if you don't read about the company, if you don't read the requirements, you will not understand what exactly are they looking for, what should I write in that resume so I will catch their attention and they'll see this is the guy we want to hire. So the perfect resume, according to us at Enhansive, is performance-based. So write numbers, exact accomplishments that you've achieved, something that really proves that you improved the company. Human-centric, again, reveal your personality, reveal who you are, say what words you live by, say what books you've read, what music do you listen to. Then it should be short and concise. If you can't sell yourself in 2 pages, you won't be able to do it in 7 pages. Some people do have a lot of experience, and they could probably make resume 7 pages. But think of the job, what is important for that job, and write only those things. It should be job specific, so again, every company, different resume. And should be a natural heat map. So once you read the requirements, you will understand what the HR is looking for in your resume. try to put it on the first page. So it's natural for them to see it on the first page. Then we've got how to craft your resume. There are a lot of ways, because I don't want to promote only enhansive. You can do it in other ways as well. It's the Word. But these crafts really plain and simple resumes, and the format changes if you send it to someone. They open it on their computer, and the format changes completely. So I wouldn't recommend that much. If you have a new idea, it's amazing. You know, never be worried to show something else. Every employer nowadays is looking for creative people, people who are not worried, people who want to show that they can do something else. So don't be worried about that. Definitely try it out. Then we've got Europass or other resume building platforms. Europass I would use if you wanted some governmental jobs, and if they require, you have to use this platform to create a resume. Otherwise, it's not performance-based and human-centric, so I wouldn't use it. Then you've got Photoshop and Illustrator. It's good for portfolios mainly. And then we've got enhansive, performance-based and human-centric. So again, all of you who are students at Soft University, you have free access to all the pro features. If you're not a student here, you still can go and create a great resume for free, so go and check it out. Okay, so now we'll go through every single section of your resume which you should add. Some of these things might seem really obvious to you, but trust me, there are still people who still don't get these right. So let's start with the personal information. First is your name. Try to pick one name and stick with it on all your social media accounts as well, on other documents as well, and on your CV. Because every employer will go through your social media profiles. They want to see what you're interested in, what kind of topics you talk about. So don't worry, you know, as long as the content on your social media is not something really horrible, stick with the same name. Skip your middle name. I know in Bulgaria you have middle names, but you don't need to write that on your resume. First name and last name is completely enough. And be careful writing some of advanced degrees, only because, you know, if you are a bachelor, it's great, you know. I'm as well, but I don't write it in front of my name because there are loads of other people who are bachelor. If you have a doctorate or master degree, and you know the requirement that the job says you must have a doctor degree or a PhD, then write it in front of the name. Otherwise, just skip it. Then we've got the title, which should be, try to look at that, your resume from the employer's point of view, what exactly they are looking for. What defines you the best, and what the job that you want to be doing, you know, what exactly will you be doing? Just focus on sales manager, you will understand, I'm a growth hacker, you know, something interesting. Then we've got photo. In United States, if employer requires a photo or gender or any personal information, it's illegal. But we still believe you can provide your photo. It's completely optional, but it's no right or wrong with that. Also make sure if you provide one that is not with other people on it, you don't wear sunglasses, you don't have a beard or something like that, you know, make it professional and nice. Then you've got email. We still receive people with emails, hot chick 155 or spicy Mike 34, you know, these emails that you created when you were 13 years old, don't write that on your resume. The email should be your name, surname or initials with a well-known provider such as Gmail or Yahoo. Don't apply with your work email. If you're working in some company right now, your work email, some people do that and it's so disrespectful, so never do that. University email is completely fine, you can use that. There is a phone number. Always provide your phone number because many HRs prefer to call you straight away without emailing and getting the first feel of who you truly are, how you react on different questions. So definitely provide your phone number, and if you're applying in another country, provide the code of the country so they are able to call you. Then we've got the location. Don't write the full address because no one's going to send you a postcard or a love letter. It's enough to say, you know, the city and the country where you live. Maybe you live in Varna, but you want to work in Sofia and you're happy to move here if you get the job, so maybe you can write open to relocate, which shows as well that you're happy to move. You can provide some links if you have some personal website, you've got your blog, you've got a LinkedIn account. If you don't have it, so you should make it, you should create it. All these provide only if it puts you in a good light, you know, if it shows some other side of you that is interesting, and if it's just if it's a hobby as well, still provide it there. Adding social profiles such as Behance and Twitter is always a good way for them to show what topics you talk about. You know, Behance is great for designers, pictures and things like that, so it's all good for them to see. Then another section of your resume is a summary, which is usually the answer to the hated question on interview, tell me about yourself, in 2-3 sentences. It's really difficult, but you know, it's worth writing it there. What you should write in this section is something that you are, some critical problems that you are well positioned to solve, and something that you're really good at, some strengths and passions that you really are interested in and makes you different from the others. Then we have experience, which is one of the most important sections of your resume as well. So first of all is the type and content of experience. Experience can be paid and unpaid, as I said. If you have predominant experience, for example, you had 5 jobs as a software developer, write it down, not experience, but software development experience, and then just add those jobs. It's going to look much nicer and cleaner like that. And always start with the most relevant one. So whatever was the latest, the recent, don't jump from 2016, 2005, 2009, you always be consistent in that. Then we've got the position, company, organization name and description. So write the position that you had that describes what job you've been doing. Also type the full name of the company. Maybe if it's not very well-known company, you can add a short description so the employer gets an idea what is about the company. And also, that's all. Then you've got achievements, which is super important. You always have to provide the achievements. I already said it, but I'm saying it again because it's really important. Think about each position that you held, what things you've improved for that company. Percentages, numbers, and improvements. Most proud of. This is a section that is not very popular amongst anyone, really. And in this section, you should think of some personal accomplishments that you are very proud of. For me, it's, for example, that I overcame horrible skin disease, psoriasis, without any pharmaceutical things, all natural. I was researching about it and did everything possible. It took me a whole year, but it proves that I don't give up, I'm motivated, I do the research, and I can finish anything that I start. Okay, we can move from that. Then we've got education, which is also important. Write the full name of your major, starting with your degree, the main subject. If you still are studying, you haven't finished the degree, still write it down and say that it's ongoing. Unless you have a very significant work experience already, the education part should stay on the top of your resume. So when you write the time, you don't have to provide a complete date, just the years is enough. Also, definitely provide whether if you achieved some really high score, it's really good to mention it. Many employers are still looking for some really good brains who can achieve great results. Then you've got courses and certificates. Here in Bulgaria, I hear from everywhere. Everyone's doing courses. Everyone's doing JavaScript course, or I'm going to try to do a CEO course. Everybody's trying to improve themselves. So if you've done some course, definitely mention that in your resume. And say what course it was, so whether you finished it, you got some licensure or anything like that. It's very interesting to see on your resume. Especially for you software developers, it's good to add technology section. Don't write all technologies you've ever tried in your life. Write the most important ones there in the job requirements. And also don't overestimate yourself. As I said it earlier, don't write that you are 10 out of 10 in all of them, because they will definitely on an interview try to assess that and try to give you exercises, and you don't want to embarrass yourself. Then we've got strengths. This is one of the most difficult sections, as well as the passions, because not many people can think of what I'm really good at. Try to think of 3 things that you are really good at and that differentiate you from the others. Describe a little bit why this strength is your best part of yourself. And yeah, write it definitely down. Maybe you've done some great project and you show that you are an amazing team leader, and just describe why. Then we've got languages. Definitely include your mother tongue, include the languages that you speak fluently, even the ones that you have basic knowledge of. But make sure, again, you don't say that you are advanced in French and then you come to an interview and they start speaking French and you'll be like, oh, I forgot a lot in French, I can't. It's embarrassing. It happened to me as well. Then we've got projects and activities, which is a part of your university, for example, or some entrepreneur clubs. You've done some projects, you know, you raised some money for a charity, anything like that can go into this. Just describe a lot in detail what you've achieved. Again, numbers and tangible data is very important. Then you've got volunteer and memberships. So maybe you've been a manager of some budget of a charity. Maybe you worked as a volunteer somewhere and you were a part of the people who were recruiting. You were maybe training some people to become better. You know, this all is very important information, and you should definitely mention that. Then you've got your passions and life philosophy. Again, many times, even at my university, they told me, don't write your passions on your resume. Don't say your hobbies. Nobody cares. It's not true. Honestly, nowadays everybody wants to know what you like to do. You know, because of the other people in the company, the other team members. It's really important. Definitely mention that on your resume. And then we've got favorite piece of art. So if you read some books, definitely mention it, because exactly the employer will see, oh, you read Richard Branson's Leadership. I read that book as well. I would like to know what he thinks about it. And that might be a reason they will contact you, you know. So definitely mention that, or your favorite music. As it says down there, art speaks about you more than you can imagine, and it shows some initiative and sense of belonging, which is really nice to see. And then we've been talking at Enhansive with many HRs who say, this a day of my life, it's exactly what they want to see. They're looking for that. They want to see how you spend your time. Are you at work 50%? Don't write, I brush my teeth, I have breakfast, not things like that, but you spend time at university, you go for a walk with your dog, you go to your entrepreneur club, you read books, you listen to some music, something interesting about yourself. And you can use something more creative, like my secret sauce. Curiosity, optimism, imagination, all these are really amazing things to have in your resume, because it shows who you truly are. And then you don't become just a piece of paper, but you become a human person, you know, and they will feel like, this is an interesting guy. So, what we've learned now, first of all, don't try to put yourself in all the sections that I mentioned now, because not all of you will fit in them, not all of you consider them as appropriate, but still try it out and you will see what the reaction will be from the potential employer. You can name your resume according to the company you're applying for, but the best of all is not say resume or anything, just say the name and the rest of the sections. Find the recruiter's email and send the resume directly to him, or go directly to the company. They might be really surprised to see you there and be like, oh, okay, well, just show yourself, smile, be positive, and this kind of people everybody likes, for sure. If you're not sure of anything or just want an advice, you can message or email me anytime. or anyone at Enhansive. If you try to use the platform, there is a little button down where you can get a live chat if you get stuck. But the platform offers you examples of everything, so it's really nice and easy if you're not sure about something. And then, Smile, you've done a great job. And now I'll talk about a little bit about how to craft the perfect cover letter. It's just these few steps. Describe what problem could you solve for the company. Very important. You go to the company website and you see the product they use, and maybe you will find something that they're not doing right in your opinion. So write to them why they're not doing it right and what your proposition to solve this problem would be. If you've heard of Nina from Airbnb, go and have a look online from Business Insider. You will get exactly what I mean. It's an amazing cover letter. Why this company? Why should they choose you? So again, think of why did you choose that company? What do you like about them? Is the company culture? Is it that they smoke shisha every day, or you've seen some team building pictures that you really are interested in that? And why should they choose you? So say what is the best about you, all the great strengths that you have. Don't write exactly the same things as you wrote in your resume for sure, because they already can see it in there. So don't write, I studied 5 years in software university and I'm so good at it. Just try to do the first two. Keep it short, 2-3 paragraphs, no more than that. Nobody's going to read 10 pages of you describing how amazing you are. Always change it, so every company is different. Again, you need different resume, you need different cover letter as well. And don't use the following phrase. My name is Tatjana and I'm applying for the position of software developer. They already know that, and you're just wasting your space of the first 2 sentences that could be something that describes how passionate you are about the industry that you are going to work in. So that's it from me. Thank you for listening. I know it was maybe very long and overwhelming, but I hope you learned something, and I hope you will have a look on the platform and create some great resume and get the job that you really deserve. Does anybody have any questions? Yeah? How should we
implement our experience after
If you have completely irrelevant experience to the job requirements, I would, try to think whether at least one of those could be somehow relevant. But if the experience is completely irrelevant, you shouldn't really write it down on the resume. Try to think of something that's relevant to it, at least through your passions. I constantly, I started learning about HTML by myself, for example. That's your passion, which is a great, it proves that you have some experience in it and you're interested in that topic. If you have irrelevant experience, don't write it down. Anything else? Yeah? I will send it to you, definitely, if you want to have a look, because there was more information and more examples. So I will definitely send it to your teachers, maybe, or to you personally. If you come to me, give me your email, I'll send it straight away. Yeah, no problem. Everybody who would like to get it.
Can you explain shortly about the importance of visual elements? Because people they just can't read, and why it is so important to get these visual elements?
Yeah. So still, many people feel like I shouldn't put any icons of my resume. It's gonna look unprofessional. Yeah, it's childish, exactly. But it's so not true, because if you have a look on some examples on our platform, you will see that it still can look really amazing, and it's still visual, which means that some person will not gonna be bored of just reading some lines of text like you can see on Europass, but they will see an icon of a, I don't know, the chasha. Winner, and they'll be like, oh, what is that? And they'll straight away, you will draw their attention straight to that icon, and they will want to know what is behind that icon. So yeah, don't think that this shouldn't be like that. If you feel it somewhere inside you that this could be the right way, definitely try it, and you might get hired. You never know. Anyone else? Yeah?
Is it about practice to store your CV online like in Google Docs instead of sending the file directly?
It's absolutely fine as well. Why not? Yeah. It's good to have a PDF always to send it, but if you have a Google Doc file, it definitely sends a link. It's acceptable, and it's even better, you know, because sometimes the employers, you know, if you decide to send it to a CEO, for example, he might have a program that will detect PDFs and go straight in the trash. Yeah. It goes in the trash. The format of PDF doesn't get messed up. It stays the same. But it could go in their trash because the email recognizes that it's got some attachment. So if you add a link to your Google Doc, it's even better. This doesn't go to the trash. They will be able to view it. Yeah. Anything else? So yeah, I'll send you the presentation, and anybody who wants it, if you're not a student, just let me know your email. Thank you very much.
Яна, аз много искам да ти благодаря първо за уважението, че се стараеш да говориш български. Аз си поговорих малко с теб, нямах представя, че си чужденка. Абсолютно говориш без никакъв акцент, така че поздравления на теб, наистина. Поздравления за това, което правите с твоя екип. Между другото, от моя опит с повече от, не знам, много, 500 компании, искам да ви дам един съвет. Страхотно, ако се постараете да си направите CV, което да бъде впечатляващо, кратко, практично и човека да не се губи в него. Но въпреки това, моят съвет е направете си два варианта. Защото не знаете на кого ще попаднете. Може би един, тъй като голяма част от хората, които се занимават с рекрутинг, са ориентирани към детайлите и искат да прочетат и да видят всичко. Не всички, но много голяма част от тях. Така че моят съвет е, имайте си едно CV, което е стандартно в Европа с всичките неща изброени там. И още едно, даже може да ги, ти мисля, че това е добър съвет, да ги приключите заедно, като, не знам, може би съкратено или нещо друго, за да може човека, като ги види, да каже вау. Тъй като може би компанията е малко по-консервативна, може би хората, които се занимават с рекрутинг, са от малко по-друго поколение, но моят съвет имайте и двете. Това показва професионализъм, показва и това, че вие сте се погрижили да се представите себе си по най-добре